Well, look, there's three kinds of investment partners that you'll have. So I've got hundreds and hundreds of investment partners, and been dealing with them for for years and years. I mean, you've got some experience in this too. But I mean, this is just coming from me, but this is I've got really three kinds of investment partners, and I think most people do too. I was talking with a guy that's kind of a mentor of mine here a couple weeks ago. Had a meeting with him, catching up on stuff and going over things, and we got to talking about this. And he has a lot of experience in this area with real estate, but he goes back into the 70s and into the early 80s when it was a whole different dynamic going on. The Resolution Trust Corporation, depreciation schedules changed, so the write-offs were not even close to what they were. So there was a whole bunch of just shit hitting the fan going on at this point in time. But it was also a good time to buy some stuff too, because of some of the assets going back onto the market and being offered at discounted prices, just so the S&Ls can get some things cleaned up, and the Resolution Trust Corporation can help them through that process. Another story for another time, probably a book actually. But I gave you that backstory because he's been doing this for, I don't know, 40 years plus, and different assets at different periods of time. Market's great, market's in the tank, all that. And so him and I pretty much agree on this, that you've got really three kinds of partners. The first partner is, which is about 20% of your partners. They are the partners that's always really encouraging, supporting, wanting to know what's going on, wanting to know how things are going in a very supportive way. Even if things aren't going well. They're encouraging when things aren't going that great. Of course, they're supportive, and they're one of your biggest fans when things are going well. So they've always kind of got your back. So that's about 20% of your partners right there. The other 70% of your partners are the partners that you hardly hear from. They check in with you once in a while just to see how things are going. They may ask you a few questions, maybe email or with a letter. They may call you once in a while just to check in with you, but you really don't hear from them that often. Maybe at the most a couple times a year. That's about 70% of your partners. And so when I mentally think about, we've got hundreds and hundreds, that'd be, 100, yeah, that'd be about right. That'd be about right. So about 70% of your partners you're hardly ever going to hear from. It's usually only when they need something. Hey, I'm moving my account from here to there, or I've moved, my new address is over here. What's going on? Last year we were doing this. What are we up to this year? So you're going to hear from them a couple times a year. That's going to be about it. And then you got 10% of the partners that are really pains in the ass. I mean, they really are, and that means that they are people that will constantly be on your case about everything, no matter how good or bad things are going. I mean, it's just the way it is. I mean, some people are just going to like to get up in the morning, think about you, whether good or bad, and it's usually bad, and they'll call you, send you an email, be grouchy about something, and it's no matter if you have good news or bad news. Usually, you're met with, well, so what, last year it was this, or yeah, you're talking about good news, but last quarter it really kind of sucked. What happened in 2015? That was a bad year. So you're going to have 10% of your partners that you just know are going to be pains in the ass. But the other 90% are going to be just fine, and that's probably the way it is with like most everything else, but especially when it comes to partnerships. Those are the three kinds of folks you're going to have. And so what you want to do out front is, you'll be able to tell through your communication your conversations, your emails back and forth. Now this is before someone gets involved in an investment with you. You put together a partnership, for example. You'll be able to tell pretty much what they're going to be like before they get into the investment with you. So it's kind of like getting married. You know, so if the man that you think you want to marry pushes you around when he has a little bit too much to drink, you know, kicks you once in a while, shoves you on the car. I mean, to think that after you get married, it's all going to change, that's not going to happen. Okay? It's the same kind of thing. It's the same kind of thing. So you pretty much know before they get involved with you formally and really invest, you pretty much know what they're going to be like. So you want to do the best that you can, and you're not always going to be 100% with this, by the way. You want to do the best that you can to kind of weed out those folks that you think are going to be just problems, okay? Because you don't have enough time in the day to deal with problems all the time from 1 or 2 or 3 people. So if you think they're going to be a problem, and this is no matter how much money they want to put into your deal, because it's not worth it at the end of the day if they're always going to be a problem, okay? And I take a little bit different tack at this. So some people would say, well, gee, Darin, you know, all of them should be kind of treated the same. You shouldn't be singling some partners out versus others. Well, yeah, you should. Because I don't want to spend my time, I don't want to spend 80% of my time on 10% of the people. That's not the right way to spend your time. Especially if 10% of those people are pains in the ass. Okay? That's not the right way to do it. All right. So really, again, you got like 3 kinds. You got the 20% that are just really good, go out of their way, send you birthday cards, send you a Christmas present, call you and encourage you no matter what's going on. Times are great, they're great. Times are bad, they're still encouraging. You got the other 70% that are you pretty much hardly ever hear from. They hope things are going great. They'll check in with you once in a while. They'll have questions for you once in a while, keep you updated on some things. That's about it. Then you got 10%, you're just wondering how in the heck you got involved with them. That's reality, but that's the way it's going to be. So you want to do as much as you can up front to, you know, hopefully avoid that 10%.